And then you've got the 5-mast schooner option. So what we're looking at here is we have actually two signs to produce, one northbound and one southbound on Route 1. You could actually do one of each, or you could do just the 5-mast schooner, or you could do just the boat that sort of represents what's actually there at ebb tide.
So how big of a sign is gonna be?
So that's the next thing I just wanted to talk about. First thing is to approve this as a design, because this design is going to inform future graphic branding elements for the town. There are a number of other things that we're going to have to produce going forward, like parking this way, other kinds of signage, anything that needs to be produced in the future. We want to have a consistent typeface, color scheme, and so on. So this is really about approving a graphic scheme that's going to inform not just these two signs, but other elements in the future. Once this design is approved, then we can go and we can determine the actual size, whether it's 54 inches wide or 60 inches wide, and if it's on aluminum backed material and so on. There's a bunch of literal technical specs that need to be determined and then sent out to bid for production for these two signs. In addition to these two gateway signs, the third sign that we are, as a committee, immediately recommending is at the intersection of Jefferson. Just, you see on those signs, there's the part that says village with the arrow. So a third sign that we could produce right away is a sign that just says village with the arrow pointing right at the intersection of Route 1 and Jefferson. So a way of emphasizing what we're doing with the other two gateway signs, making that intersection at Jefferson a little bit clearer that it's another way into the village. Now, the location of these signs is something else that we've been discussing. The northbound entrance, the current sign is in a pretty good position, but we thought that actually positioning this just beyond the park and ride lot. So if you're driving on Route 1, it's actually just behind where you turn off to the right. But by positioning it there, you see that in a prominent way, Waldoboro, you turn right to go down to the village, or you can keep going straight on Route 1. This would be a pretty good spot for it. The other side, coming south on Route 1, technically west on Route 1, a little bit closer to the village, we feel would be very efficient and productive. Currently, it's so far away that you have to drive through a couple minutes of forest before you get anywhere near what looks like you're approaching a village. So actually, in terms of current signage, I don't know how to say it, density of signage, a really ideal spot for it would be right before Delano's. Somewhere right around there, we feel would be a really good spot for it, because it's just as you start to see businesses in closer proximity to one another that identifies you're approaching the village. So this is where we are in the process. I'd love to have a discussion with you.
Or shouldn't it be right at the town line?
So this is a great question, because we had a lot of discussion about this. There are signs that say Waldoboro Town Line on the town lines. This is not about identifying the town lines of Waldoboro. This is very specifically about directing visitors and residents to the village of Waldoboro. Because it's not on Route 1, historically, this has always been an issue, trying to get people to come down into the village when it's not on Route 1. And there's enough going on in the village now that it's really important that we build on that momentum. And this is part of that effort. It's about directing people into the village. So that's to be distinguished from the town line, because Waldoboro is so large geographically. Yeah.
Is there a color scheme that was part of this initial design?
This could have cream and the bluish color.
Right, because I don't know if those are on the printout.
This is black and white.
These were
Yeah.
printed in black and white.
So there is a color scheme. I think it's quite nice.
If you can,
I'll go get it.
it would be great if we could, put it on the screen, but the color scheme it's a kind of a almost yellowed paper, like a creamy backdrop, and the typeface and that sort of block print design of the village, the circle around Waldoboro, and the village is in a kind of a navy blue color. So it's quite nice. Yeah.
Signs are lovely. I love the idea. I love each design of the circle And I love I would personally love the idea that they're in a spot where a visitor can actually look and enjoy them because they're really pretty and the detail and everything are so nice. And I also really like the thinking about directing people into the village. Now we have to put a little more retail
Yeah,
to help the village out.
Morgan, and then.
Yeah, I love the colors, especially like cream, blue, kind of like blue and gold, so like the high school colors. And a couple like comments, instead of the word galleries, that's very specific. What about just shops? 'Cause we have a lot of different types of shops and it's nice that there's galleries here now, and there's been galleries for a while, but it's like a very, that's a specific, but I think like shops would be nice also. And then another thing with the signage directing people down the road by the park and ride. The blinking light's really dangerous, so I don't know if you want to encourage people to go, that's just a thought I had. I'm not saying it's
The blinking light?
the blinking light at McGreevy's, the Kaler's Corner area.
Oh,
This is
right,
very
right, right.
dangerous. A lot of people get in accidents there.
They're
'cause
gonna
it's a
be
blind
fixing that,
corner.
though.
Oh, they are? Cool.
Yes, there's a plan in place. to
Yeah.
take care of it.
Nice. Yeah. You was gonna come first, the sign or the fixed intersection?
You know, it's funny, you,
Figure that much.
that's always been an issue, right? The turn,
These are just two things, but they are beautiful signs.
the West Main turnoff has historically been an issue. It was designed as a bypass to Route One in a way, or once Route One came in.
Right.
And there are historical examples of Waldeboro trying to do the same thing in the past. I believe at the Historical Society is the old historical sign. It says Bear Right, and it's kind of a beautiful sign at that exact intersection. So that's always been an issue. Do we send visitors down West Main, or should you come down Route One and then turn on Jefferson? So we're trying to split hairs a little bit here by indicating that this is a junction, you can turn off here, but then reifying that by having just the individualized village with the arrow at the Jefferson intersection as well.
Have you considered if we're doing up by the parking lot, park and ride, another one by the blinking light? People.
At that point, you're kind of headed down into the village, and you're already kind of getting there.
Yeah.
What do you all think?
Well, personally, I'm gonna say the 5 Master School.
Okay.
That's Waldeboro. It's a good idea. I can remember when the first signs were put up. Well, with the brick,
Yeah,
it's still
Planters.
in there, planted. And even before that, the wooden signs that had Martha and George Washington up there back in the early 70s.
do you know if those are saved somewhere?
They're in the Historical Society.
I don't know, I noticed those.
I can remember my father he cut them out back in
Yeah,
72, 71, something.
Oh,
like that.
wow.
So I can remember those being cut. But it is a good idea to recognize and to outline to people how do we get to where's downtown Waldeboro?
Yeah.
Now I hear rumors that people say, well, there's no such thing as where's the 5 Master Schooner? You're right, there's no 5 Master Schooner. In the Hesper and the Luther is not in Wiscasset anymore either.
yeah,
But Wiscasset still talks about their schooners.
Right.
That's just the fact of history.
yeah. Well, and part of the task with this design project was how do you allude to the past and recognize what's going on now and deal with that. And I think the reason that we've landed on this design scheme is that it has a very traditional New England sign feel about it. And yet it's very contemporary in some ways too. And you notice the top of the circle says the village of Waldeboro. Let me just hold this up so they can see it closer. Rather than, and this is the question about the town line, the village of Waldeboro. And this is not something that you have to spot right away at 60 miles an hour, but the 5th or 6th time that you drive by it, this is something you might notice, which is to be distinguished from the town. It's not the North Waldeboro area, it's not the industrial
Right.
park, it's the village of Waldeboro. That's what we're emphasizing here with this. And to some people who have voiced objections about overemphasizing the village, my response and a lot of our responses has been by building on the economic activity in the village, the whole town benefits. Because there's that core of the downtown and by driving attention and the economic engine there, the whole reputation of the town flourishes and things kind of build out from there. So that's the reason to really emphasize this, the village as a brand. So I guess my question to you is, how do we proceed efficiently here? Basically, what we need to determine for sure are the exact positions of the signs, and then the material, the exact size, and then we send it out to bid for manufacturing.
When is the committee looking to pull the trigger on these?
We just want to move as quickly or as efficiently as possible, with this exact sort of input, like the comment about shops versus galleries.
That was a great idea.
Yeah. So part of my question also is I don't quite know what needs to happen in terms of votes next to make this process
Before we
move forward.
on, you guys have any questions? Any comments?
My only comment is I really can't decide between the five-masted schooner and the fishing boat. I mean, we still have a very vibrant fishing industry right out
Exactly.
in town. And I don't know how to vote on it. It's, both have merits.
Here,
You want?
here are the colors you can see on the screen. Do you have, it's like a cream, gold, and navy color scheme.
I really like that.
Actually, the boat in the handout here is a fishing boat
Yeah,
and
it
not
might be
a
further
sailboat.
down.
That's the one
Yeah.
that was cast out, yeah.
Yeah. We eliminated the sailboat and we went to the fishing boat. In a way, to your point, John, it was past, present, past five-masted schooner, present, you still have a vibrant fishing industry too.
You can put a clam boat up high, going down the river.
I think Cindy would reject that. She wants things to be really classy. You know, one of the concepts, which I was very much in favor of, was a clam sign.
Overhanging Route 1.
Yeah, exactly, but that,
One with the five-masted schooner and one with the fishing boat.
We said one on each end.
that's what I was suggesting. We could choose to have both. Yeah,
Just love to, they're so beautiful. I would really love to also have an extra one there that it can be on one of the brick walls in town that people could look at it. So
so,
much detail and it's so decorative and
so to your
it's
point,
very evocative.
what we're looking at here is a typeface, a color scheme, an art style with these wood print block style. If you ever seen, you know, when you carve elements, form a negative image and then make prints out of it. That's the graphic style of the head of tide image. So these colors, these fonts, this art style should be used in other signage as well. So maybe not, it's not necessarily about putting this sign on a brick wall, but we should see Coon parking lot, Worcester parking lot, et cetera, the other elements in town that need to be signed ultimately as we're developing.
Valley. Monadnock River Community Park.
Madomic River Community Park will be in the same art style when we get to
Quarry
that.
Hill.
Quarry Hill, exactly.
Maybe we could cover up what's out front on that ugly sign with that. Sorry, did I say it out loud? Sorry, everybody else was thinking it, I said it.
In fact, even town letterhead and this could be used in this way.
Really well done.
Thank you to Cindy for stewarding this whole process.
And it looks nothing like if you came in and voted
I know.
and picked the signs you liked, it doesn't really resemble.
I'm like, how did you get to here from there?
Right,
Well,
it's part of her process, it's amazing.
yeah, I don't know if everybody saw the initial concepts, but we started with 3 very different concepts, and her point with that process was not to pick final designs, but to say, do you want individual letters on a big plinth like at an airport? Do you want a sign with spinning elements in the O's? Or do you want more of a New England sign? And so we took all that feedback and then she landed on this design. Okay, so moving forward. So what do we need to do to make this happen? This is
But
my
I'd
question.
like to make a motion for the EDC to move forward as planned with a change with a gallery shop.
Okay,
Put a little bit different spin on that. And then go through with your plan, and then you're gonna come back and then with your colors, we already got the colors.
Yeah.
And then your locations, that's my motion to the board. Is to move forward, have the EDC move forward with this plan.
Are you looking for the particular design elements? We had suggestions of having a fishing boat on one and a five-masted schooner on one,
Mhm.
on the other.
Yeah.
You were looking for an individual vote on the three things. One was which boat? The second one was the positions, and then the sign designs. Now, I think we could take a vote on the boats, and that would be pretty straightforward. Although it may be a tie, because I don't know how to vote. I may have to flip a coin. The position,
Yeah,
could we get something presented to the board? And again, to the full board, we're down to 3 people today. I think it would be better if we had all 5 select board members here to vote. But anyway, and then the third issue was the sign design. You mentioned aluminum and various styles. And then, so I think would need to, certainly on the last one, would need to see some actual designs.
exactly. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves. I want to make sure that we're all,
Okay,
kept
so what
abreast
can
of
we
this.
take a vote on today?
Well, are we keeping both? Are we gonna have a fishing boat on one side and the five-masted schooner on the other side?
Okay, I'll
That's
make
the
that,
first question.
I'll modify my, we'll amend that. I'll make the motion that we go with the five-masted schooner coming south to north.
Okay.
Back in time.
And the fishing boat coming north to south.
Okay,
I'll second that.
Now,
There-
Wait, he's not done, are you? Is that?
for that particular one, yes.
Okay.
Any discussion on that from the board? All in favor of that?
Wait, did we have a second? We
Yeah.
did.
I second it.
Okay. Sorry.
And the other 2, we really need more information before we can take a vote.
okay. Do you have any opinions based on what I presented about the locations of the signs?
I think it's a good idea. We said just before Delano's.
Yeah,
Obviously, you're gonna have to look at your distances.
you can adjust
There's a
the,
little bit of a corner there,
yeah.
because when you're going 70 miles an hour, they shouldn't be going 70.
Count on yourself?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah,
And then the other location on the southbound side, you're talking somewhere around where North Country Wind Bells, that's what the sign is now,
yeah, on the right side of the
Yeah.
road, not on the,
right?
um,
It's almost across from there right now, isn't it?
yeah. So right now, there's the sign with the brick planter, and then just beyond it is the Waldeboro Business Association
Right.
sign,
Yeah.
which should be removed now that we're gonna put this sign in
Right.
here. All love to the WBA. I would recommend that we consider putting the sign actually just on the other side of the park and ride lot. So, right, because it's a little bit, I mean, the other thing I would suggest would put it in that median that divides the park and ride lot from Route 1. I'm not sure if that makes the most sense.
Quick of a turn, though.
Yeah, and actually, if you put it beyond the turn, you almost you can see the juncture of Route 1 and the West Main turnoff.
You're talking south of.
Well,
South.
north of it, yeah, exactly. North is actually east of it, but
Junction of West Main and Route 1 to the north.
exactly,
By the town forest.
yeah, by the town forest, yeah. So that as you're approaching that turnoff, you see it beyond the turnoff. Maybe that affects how big the sign is too.
Does it make any difference? I suppose there's got to be a difference in cost. Are we going to demolish the existing signs?
That's another question for the select board. Doesn't make sense to have 2 sets of signs.
We would get rid of those.
Well, if we get rid of them, then
Those planters are.
well, this is on Route 1. I mean, is the state going to get involved with?
No, that's our sign.
It's our sign, but.
I don't, Julie, do you have a question?
Is there a distance off the side of the roadway that we have to stay?
I can find out.
Okay,
If we put it in the same place, then But there's probably no issue with the state and the highway department. If we put it in somewhere else, they may have something to say.
Now, Julie, you've told me that there's some kind of, I don't know what this arrangement is, but you suggested that the town can put it where they want to.
That's my understanding, but if you're talking about placement, like how close to the road, we would have to follow.
Right.
But if you look at the blue signs the state has, they're not real far in.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, one of the things to think about with this is place these signs so that we're not fighting the trees every other year. Because right now the signs are so far back that you can hardly see them.
I mean,
it makes-
it's gotta be within the state right of way.
Yeah.
We can't go on private property and
Right.
just put signs up.
Yeah, of course.
Unless we have an agreement with the owner.
Might be worth a call to the highway department.
So your point though is if we were to use the exact position of the current sign, especially on the
Well, it's a
approach.
cost issue, because
Yeah.
then we'd have the cost of demolition, but there's also the state, state right of way issue. Where are we allowed to do it?
The public works. could
Public,
handle
we
the
could,
demo.
we could have our own people do that,
Yeah.
demo,
We could save the bricks.
Mhm.
auction them off.
It's worth call Bill
So,
McElwell.
so we moving forward with a motion on this, or we gonna table that part?
I think we need more info.
Okay, so just so that I have the task very clearly at hand, I should come up with an exact spec to send out to bid. In other words, the material, the size, and determine with Julie and town planner the location and make sure that's all
Yep.
good to go. And then we'll come back to you.
Yes,
And then we'll have the whole board here too.
Okay. Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good work.
Oh, yeah.
So you have two different designs and you talked about future, using that in the future for like letterhead and whatever. So if you have two different designs, you got two different setups. So that's gonna double, if you use two signs, it's gonna double the cost. Not double it, but you're gonna have two setup costs rather than just one. Just kind of throwing that out there for future use.
Well,
You mean,
I think printing though, the cost wouldn't be different. In terms of the two signs, but you make a point about if you're using this elsewhere, you may have to just remove all boats. Otherwise, you're gonna be choosing, should the letterhead have this, should this have that? It's just something. to be
fishing boat
aware
or
of.
the 5-masted schooner?
Streamline it down a little bit for the
Yeah.
future stuff.
Yeah, and we're talking about a concept here.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Connie, thank your crew, thanks for the hard work.
We'll pass them. Nice and chill.
How long have we been working on this?
Year.
a minute.
It's been about a year.
But I will tell you, when they were tasked with this, they started immediately. And you have to realize there was a process where the public had time to put it in, so. They were speedy
Oh, yeah, that's been constantly something.
and it's been constantly discussed.
Decision, gotta make decisions. Okay, public hearing, we have none. Citizens' comments on something that we're not gonna cover in the agenda. Yes, of course.
All right, as it's that time of year still. Probably the last time I'll get to be here this year. It's the talent show. Well, I'll be in the meetings. I'm not dying. I mean, not yet. Anyway, I see in the room almost a lot of people who are actually going to be in the show. And I want to urge everyone to go and to go online to book your ticket. And I'm doing an experiment, and if you can't manage the website, you can call me and you can reserve your ticket in my name. Okay, so
Can you clarify that it's by donation?
no, okay, it's free. That's important. Thank you, Michael. That is so important. And yes, it's a gem in our town, so donations are really welcome. They help keep it there. The second thing is you all that I'm speaking to, the three of you, and Rebecca's not here and Abden's not here, but we are opening after the welcome, and then there will be a little black and white movie about Rhonda Conway talking about her mother. being an usher at the Waldo. And then we'll open with the Pledge of Allegiance. One of you will carry the flag on and then carry it off. But the other thing that we were hoping, and again, 3 minutes, all the acts are 3 minutes, and the pledge takes only a little bit of time. But your thoughts on what the pledge means to you. What it means either to do it in unison. Oh,
I would
speak up.
broaden it to what America means to you. So
No,
maybe
United States.
the United States means to you.
Sorry.
So, I mean, a pledge is a specific thing, but
Yeah.
what the United
Yeah.
States means to you, maybe
Yeah.
you could take
What our country means to you.
what our country, whatever.
Yeah.
15 seconds per person.
Yeah, or, yeah, just from your heart. And Bob did it last year and he spoke about what voting meant to him. Yeah, speak from your heart. Thank you. Thank you so much for doing it. So we are having rehearsals also on Friday at 5 o'clock, but we will work around you. The 24th. If you can come, that we would love that. All right.
Any other comments?
So just to say hey,
Hey.
we're still here.
Hey.
And actually, there are some others that might actually want to contribute their voice to the conversation that we've had so far about, this is pertaining to the proposed cell tower for Friendship Road. Did you want to jump in with anything? So yes, do we want to?
Yeah, these are citizen comments. You can get up to the podium
You have to come up to the
Dakota.
podium technically.
and if you wanted to speak on a subject that we're not gonna take action on anything today.
So there was a communication.
Can we go to the-
Okay, yes.
Yeah, the podium.
So just some additional thoughts, questions, comments that we'd want to register in our communication with the folks that you've been in touch with for this proposed project. So I think already there was a conversation about, or just to clarify, what has been already asked of the tower company. So just going through this, we're looking for an in-depth site analysis to take place that will consider the cell coverage map. And I think that is part of what they've already done because they had the waiver. So we'll be able to see that, I think, prior to or at the time of the November 13th meeting with the
That's
planning
the
board.
pre-application. I don't know if they
Okay.
got it in. I will be honest, I was not in
Okay,
because of a medical reason, so
okay,
I saw your email right before I walked in the door tonight. So,
okay. So do you want us to hold off until you've had a
I
chance
mean,
to?
you feel free to share it with the select
Share with
board,
us,
Okay.
but
but it's gotta go to the planning board
planning
too.
board.
So-
Okay.
And that went to Kate, I'm assuming, to the same email.
It just to you at this point?
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll send it to Kate.
Okay, and maybe that's a clarifying question,
Send
Julie
everything to me and Kate.
and Kate. And then also going forward, like what's a select board question and what's a planning board question? Because I'm very,
So technically, once it gets before it's the planning board. Like,
so
once it's pre-app, it's planning.
are we
board.
considered pre-app right now or not until November 13th?
You can always share any
Okay.
information with your select board. I mean,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay,
But when it comes to actually asking for the applicant to do stuff, it needs to go through the planning. board.
okay. Well, so then, select board, the coverage map,
Yeah, we wanted to see the coverage map.
taking into account where are the gaps in service and also particular to the emergency service. The emergency calls and that sort of thing. Sorry, I only have one copy.
Oh, I'm so
No,
sorry.
that's okay.
And I marked it up.
No, you're all good, you're all good. It's more in depth what Julie has, so I'm just kind of giving you the overview.
And I can forward it to the select
Okay,
board, so I'll make
perfect.
sure they get it.
A request for an alternate site analysis for potential locations to serve the affected area. And also what the description of that siting criteria are. And then we understand that a request was already made for a third-party RF study. And there are a few questions just to delve a little bit more deeply into what that covers. Advance notice of the balloon test, so
Yeah.
the date and time before. it.
Yeah, the balloon test was only like the biggest thing that I had a question on, and making sure that, 'cause I was told it would only be like, what, 18 hours?
I think so, that's what we
But
were,
yeah, like how that would play out, just so I could like block off my day so I could scope it out.
So the pre-app is when all of these things need to be requested
Okay.
by
Okay.
the planning board
Okay,
officially. You
Okay.
know, I gave a heads up. It
Yeah, it was
wasn't
great.
okay,
like,
Just-
hey, you need to do this. It's be prepared to
yes.
do
Okay.
this. I'm assuming this is what the planning board will do.
Okay, okay,
So those dates should be made aware of at the planning board meeting on the pre-app.
when is that?
I think it's,
I think it was November 13th.
is it the
Does that sound
13th?
right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And part of that is so that we can just circulate and get the word out so people can make
And there'll be a
plans.
notification in the newspaper of the
Cool.
meeting date.
Okay,
But all of that has to be notified, and that's part of what they do with this test.
cool, awesome. Yeah,
Um,
just making sure we have enough information so we can properly prepare for this thing.
and then the property value study, I don't know if that came up in conversation yet so far with as giving them the heads up that this might be asked. But we do feel like that's
So that would be handled through the assessor's office.
okay.
And when I did read through it, I just would like to read through it and speak more
Yeah.
intelligently than 5 minutes before I walked into the meeting.
Absolutely.
Sorry.
No, that's quite all right, of course. So yeah, that's kind of anything else that you wanted to add? Okay.
covered it.
All right, we're still.
Yeah.
Basically just, yes, we're still concerned citizens. So we'll have our questions and thank you for your time. Anything else that you wanted to tell?
Oh, I think the balloon was the biggest thing I was
Okay.
curious about.
Okay,
I'll forward this, make sure Kate gets it and the select board.
okay, and going forward, everything
Yeah,
The
do
dual-
make sure Kate's because she's
now handling,
with the planning.
okay, perfect.
And I think there isn't a whole lot we can do as a select board. It's in the planning board's hands right now.
Okay.
Yep,
And when they approve it, disapprove it, following the ordinance and all the rules that they have, then it
Okay.
goes up from there.
But I can still keep them all.
No, you keep us
informed.
informed, absolutely.
would love to, yeah,
Yeah.
obviously, yeah. Great,
Awesome.
okay,
Thank you.
all right. Thanks, everyone.
Select board comments. Ruben?
Nice to see people coming and talking about things. Don't stop.
I'm good.
You're good? I've got a couple things. Since our last meeting, our tax bills have gone out. I've got some phone calls. Questions. I certainly hope that everyone gets their questions answered when they're looking at their tax bills. I know some of the confusion and the conversations has to do with the evaluations. You know, there's a certain procedure that we're required by law to do. By state law, state statute that says that we have to do these re-evals. Or these evaluations of buildings and properties, and all of our communities around us have been doing this as well, and something that's really tied into that, and probably Daryl could explain it better than I can, our town assessor, is price of homes plays a key part into the evaluations of your residents, your homes, your properties. What happened 5 years ago? COVID. We had an influx of folks coming to town, coming to the area, buying properties, no questions. Just handing out the money and paying what they paid for. That affects our property values. That's why the assessments went up. And again, the state dictates this. There's been some conversation on the state level, Hope Wish Avenue was here, on is there a better way to do evaluations of property taxes at the state level, because they have to change that law, that statute. With that said, I've been paying close attention to the RSU 40 they are in conversation right now seriously about going out for another bond. Remember a couple of years ago, they looked out for, I think it was a $22 million bond or something like that.
81 million.
Huh? I mean, 81 million, I'm sorry, 81 million. There's some serious conversations right now that they're working on a plan to go out for a bond, do some major improvements to the high school. Which it needs, undoubtedly, it needs a lot of improvement, but they will be coming to the towns and doing presentations. Just to people aware that that's gonna be happening. You can go on their YouTube video, RSU 40 YouTube. Channel and see some of these meetings. And the last meeting last week, last Thursday night was very in-depth on some of their plans that they want to do at the high school, but it's stuff that has to get done. We have to have good schools for our kids to go to. All that nicey stuff is good to have, but I mean, we're talking stuff that has to get done up there because our accreditation at the high school is not where it needs to be. And took a tour of Mike and I did a tour of Maine Health, the new building up the road here. And who else was there? I think Rebecca was there too, right? It's quite a facility, quite a building. You'd be amazed. You walk in there, you got a bowling alley on this side and a bowling alley. It's huge going inside there. So it's gonna be a great asset to the town and they expect to be open by the end of March, I believe is what they said.
What is this, Maine Health, what?
Maine Health.
The
It's
new
a
health center on Depot
New
Street.
facility. It's a Maine Health Center. They're gonna combine
Where is it now?
on Depot Street where the old nursing home used to be.
Oh, Fieldcrest, okay.
Yeah. They're gonna combine the medical facility on Mill Street.
Yeah.
And the one up on West Main Street. They're gonna bring both those together into one big building. It's gonna be like 28 exam rooms or something like
There was
that.
a
A lot of exam rooms, a lot of
Physical therapy
physical
room.
therapy. There's a lot of stuff going on. Yep. And one last thing, we have a downtown forum coming up. You probably have it in your report. On Thursday night, we're gonna have a meeting at the Customs House, correct? And we're gonna talk about some of the stuff that's gonna happen down in downtown here in the future. That's all I have. I know I rambled, but
That's okay. Tuesday, November 4th, we have an election coming up. There are 2 state questions on that. Just to make sure everybody knows. And what is the last date that you can get an absentee ballot, Madam Clerk?
Thursday prior, which I believe is October 30th.
So if you want an absentee ballot, you need to apply for that by October 30th. If you are interested in having a Thanksgiving or Christmas food basket, the sign up date deadline is November 7th. And that is, you can go on it. There's a post on our Facebook page and our website, or you can call the town office. And my other reminder is LIHEAP. If there are residents that depend on LIHEAP, you need to complete the online application on the computer. I know people don't like to do things online. However, if you are waiting for an appointment, they are now taking appointments into March, which means most of the winter will be over by the time you even have your appointment to get assistance. So it is really important that you take advantage of the system online and fill out every question. Don't skip any, fill out every space. And that's what I have.
Are there people that, is there people or anyone available to help people that don't use the internet? There's a lot of them out there, and especially the elderly. Is there someone that they can contact to come in and help them do that?
So technically, you could try with our community navigator. I know they were helping people. MCAP has somebody that they can, but most of the time it's, if you can't do the computer, you need to sign up for the appointment.
The library has computers.
Right.
Yeah,
But they
but
don't have
the
any-
problem is, and most of the time is unfortunately when there was a pilot program that was trying to help people fill that out, they weren't bringing the information that was needed to fill it out online. But that's all I got.
oh, you got. Okay, when most of you approve the consent calendar,
So moved.
second. All in favor? New business. We gotta discuss select board meeting date for November 19th, which is Veterans Day. I mean, what did I say, 19th?
Yeah.
14th, which is Veterans Day. Tuesday the 4th. Remember 14th. What am I looking at? That's not right.
Did I put the wrong
Yeah,
date on
it's not
there?
the 14th, a Friday. The 11th.
The 11th.
The 11th.
I was just seeing if you're on your toes.
11th day of the 11th month, the 11th, huh?
At the 11th hour.
Veterans, you know,
Good catch, Jeff.
that's the Veterans Day and the town office be closed. Do we know right now what the calendar looks like for Monday, the 10th?
It doesn't have anything on it.
I would propose to make a motion to move it to the 10th, Monday, the 10th for select board meeting versus the 11th, because the town office be closed.
Fine with me.
That's my motion.
Oh, I'll second the motion.
Any discussion on it? Favor? All in favor? So move it to the 10th. Ten point two, Dominic River Community Park Board appointments. I think Ruben, you have that?
So we had two applicants. We had. Trying to read his last name the way it's written here. We had Patrick. And we had Ruben Alves. We interviewed both of them. What about 2 weeks ago, Julie? They both seemed like excellent applicants for that, and no major issues came up. I haven't had time to talk to Abin since that meeting, but it seemed like we agreed that they would be a good fit. So I'm comfortable nominating both these folks.
And we have space on that
Yes,
committee. Because at one point we were getting too big and
no, there's space.
So was that a motion to recommend them?
Yes, sir.
I'll second the motion. Any further discuss? Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Great.
any discussion on that, on these two? All in favor? Opposed, none? Who have them?
At the reconstitution of this board, the only thing that came up is that the 4:30 meeting time might be complicated for people. So we might have to move that date and time around.
It's a conversation we'll have with the board, I guess, in the committee.
Yeah.
With the committee.
If the schedule tweaks is,
It makes more sense.
Yep.
4:30 is complicated for people who work, pick up kids.
Yep,
It's just a
absolutely.
little complicated.
Old business. It's like, Mark, CEO, going to discuss latest in the land. Good call.
Good evening. I sent out email notices to everyone. I did a re-inspection. Fred called me up on Thursday afternoon and it was absolutely downpouring. So I asked him if it was okay if we moved that to Friday. So I actually came in and did the inspection on Friday. We went through the inspection, everything passed the inspection, so all the violations were cleaned up as far as the trash is concerned. I did mention to him, due to me not wanting to stand out in the rain and do the inspection on Thursday, I would recommend to the board that the inspection actually be completed as of Thursday, because it was Friday morning when I did the inspection. So that would be 2 days after the select board meeting. So there would be 2 days on top of that. So as of now, all the trash issues and the septic issue that was on the property have been taken care of, and there are no violations as far as those. There are still outstanding stuff to deal with the state, but that has nothing to do with the town. That's the state's jurisdiction. So that will be taken care of by them. So at this point, I put it back to the board as far as what you choose to do, but
So that was 9:25.
Yes, well, the inspection should have been on 9/25. I actually did it the morning of the
Right,
26th,
right.
but yes.
Yeah.
For any calculations of fines and stuff like that, I would ask that it be, the 25th.
So you're satisfied as of the 9th?
I am.
As far as that goes.
The motion we had for that, was that just for the violations, or was that also asking for a letter from the attorney stating that he was advised not to give a copy of a lease or rules?
That's correct. There were two other things I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, that the board had asked for. One was either a copy of rules or something from the lawyer stating that he advised the client not to give that. And there was one other thing, copies of the lease. Yeah, what the lease agreement would be, sample.
Have we provided that?
Not me. That was between you and the board, if you would like to address that now.
Beth, anything from your attorney, or do you?
I've got the rules here that you requested. There are no leases to give you. I wasn't aware there were some leases you still want. I gave you a copy.
Well, last meeting, you said you were advised by your attorney not to give us a copy of your rules or your lease.
Oh, okay. Well, I did
That's-
give you already the leases that I do use, those two. I already gave you those, both of those at the last meeting.
He did, he
Yeah,
distributed
they
them.
do.
Okay, and here's the rules, all the rules.
So the letter from the lawyer is then moot because
It's a moot point because so
You wanna,
Do you want me to?
yeah, why don't you take,
Do you want it or?
well, I'm not gonna read for that this minute, I'll be all day reading these. Because it's our copy. It's my copy,
that's your copy.
and all your tenants have copies. And all your tenants have copies.
I've got copies
No, all your tenants have copies.
somewhere. I don't know if they keep
But you've
them.
issued them all, you've given them to all your tenants. so
They all
know-
have them.
They know what the rules are.
They know what the rules are. They don't follow them, but they know where they are.
But my question, and it's something I've been thinking about and, so
Can you come up and stand up in front of
I don't think you guys really want me to get that close.
well, because we can't hear you on the TV.
So it's private property and I was kind of comparing the mobile home park, maybe this is maybe on my wet, to other areas where it's private property, where the police don't have jurisdiction because it's private property. I had an accident in Walmart some years ago and the police came and they said, well, we don't have jurisdiction. I'm thinking, what are you, crazy? Well, no, they're not. In a mobile home park, the police department does not have jurisdiction, am I right? Because it's private property, right? Like on a university. They don't have jurisdiction at a university because it's private property, right? So what if?
We should be billing for a time.
Well, I don't know, but this is what I was getting from you guys, is that when they call, there's nothing you can really do because it's his responsibility, not the police department. That's what I kept hearing, is that it's his, it's up to, it's his responsibility. Okay, so what if, I'm sorry, Fred, I haven't talked to you about this at all. What if he were to hire someone to enforce the rules?
To manage the park?
that's a no.
Well,
We've been talking about that for the last 3 weeks.
Oh, but in a different way, like you say manage a park. Well, in my mind, managing the park is collect the rent, make sure everybody gets their letters. Well, what about? Here's an example. This little girl in the trailer park. 3 times this little girl, can't be more than 2 or 3 years old. She's walked right into my house. Let my dogs out, scared the crap out of one of my dogs. She went in the shower and hid. And I'm in the shower and hear this little kid like, who the heck's in my house? So she runs loose. So rather than, the police have been called numerous times by me and my neighbors. So what if instead, either personally we called DHS, or we call a property manager that does have the authority to call DHS or get some legal authority in there to take care of this particular thing. So if I had this dream about a citizen's arrest because I caught somebody doing drugs right there on the street and it made me mad. I did a citizen's arrest. And I looked it up and I'm thinking, I guess I'm allowed. I'm allowed to do a citizen's arrest if I see, or if Fred were to personally see an illegal act going on right there in his presence, he can do a citizen's arrest. If I witness it, I can do a citizen's arrest. Am I all right? Or am I nuts here?
I
Well-
don't know what the legality of a citizen's arrest is, so I certainly would not comment on that, but. The police have, if there is something illegal going on.
Yeah.
And it's criminal, the police have the right to be called. All other,
But
all other parks that I'm aware of
okay,
currently in
Yeah.
Walterboro all have rules. They have,
Uh-huh.
if you look at them, they have managers. It's not just about making sure people get letters and collecting the rent. They manage the rules.
so when there's something illegal going on, does that manager call the police or do they?
Yeah, the managers
Yeah.
can call the police.
You can call the
You can
police.
call the police.
If there's a crime going on, you can call the police and they will come. What
So if I'm
that
sit-
example, no, let me just finish. You mentioned the example of something that happened in a parking lot. Okay, with
Yeah.
your car. Okay, that's a different case than a
Okay.
criminal investigation.
Oh, yeah. good
Okay,
point.
that's,
Good point.
that's really a civil, unless somebody's been driving drunk or something like that.
Yeah. good point.
But if there's a difference between police being able to investigate civilly versus investigate criminally. If you see somebody shooting drugs, probably gonna fall asleep there and you can say, then you can call the police. And if the person is subsequently charged, you can go to court and you can testify to that.
So if I hear a gunshot and I know where it came from
Call the police.
Call the police.
and they will do something about it.
Yeah,
Right.
they'll investigate it, yeah.
So if I'm sitting in my trailer, mobile home, whatever you call it, if I'm sitting at home and I look out the window and I see 3 vehicles on the road right in front of me, I know that they're drug dealers and I know that they are buyers. I can't see them passing things back and forth, but I know what's going on. Do I call the police?
Yes.
Yes, for suspicious activity, yeah.
And they're gonna, just for suspicious activity.
Yeah.
And they're gonna come.
They'll come.
It may
To my
not-
knowledge, there's never been a call
Well,
on
that's,
Lady Slipper Lane that hasn't been responded
well, that's
to.
been your major complaint, is because there are so many calls.
We don't want you to stop calling, but what we would like to have happen is the rules that are there enforced by the park owner.
So,
Or the park manager.
okay, so in these rules, is he allowed to specify,
No drug dealing?
right,
There are rules in other parks that have no drug dealing.
okay. And those rules can be enforced, because we did talk about, well, we may have talked about that, I'm not sure. Okay, right,
I mean, I'm sure many parks in the state of Maine that would be more than happy to share rules. There's many, many places that you can look up. The problem is, maybe you get copies of the rules,
Well,
but there are other tenants that say they don't have copies of any
well, I don't know
rules.
what they did with them, because I have mine.
Well,
I've been there.
like I
since
said.
2022. Just, I don't know what they
I
did with them.
can't-
I kept mine.
I can't comment on that, but I'm just saying. A lot of parks post their rules.
Post it.
Yep, there's a bulletin board. They're right there on them. You could drive in. I know one of the parks that I visit, you drive right in, there they are, right on, printed, right like a sign, right there, all the rules of the park.
Thanks for hearing me out.
But yes, that's a good concept, have a park manager. So that everyone knows that person's the park manager, if they got a question or Whether it could be something nice that's happening.
Do these park managers live in the mobile home parks? That
That-
you're
that-
aware of?
Some
Depends.
do, some
You
don't.
know, when I was stationed in the military, I lived in a different apartment complexes. We had a, you know, apartment manager.
Yeah.
They weren't one of the owners, but they managed the property.
Yeah.
And some have an office that are staffed 9 to 5, depends. Depends what you want, I guess.
Where were we?
Guys were talking about where we were,
Oh,
but we have not, I haven't gotten anything, we now have the
We
rules.
now have the rules.
All right, so if we've gotten those today, I would call that these requirements are satisfied as of 10/13.
And we had some discussion last meeting about the original plan. Did you ever find a copy of the original plan to the park?
Talking the map?
Yeah,
Yes, we
Right.
we were able to actually determine the one that we had on file, which was signed by the planning board, was never sent to the registry of deeds, so it was never recorded. So there is one that was recorded in the registry of deeds. Thank you, Julie, for finding that. And then we have subsequently got a copy of that and we have added that to our file. That is the official map.
now what about, are we in compliance with what that original plan was? I'm focused on this buffer area.
Correct. There's some things, and I've met with Chuck to discuss some of the stuff because the way that it was worded, there's some confusing aspects to that. There's a couple of areas that I think that we need to address in order to bring that up. I need to now sit down with Fred and discuss that. Fred has already moved to take care of one of the issues as far as planting. So we'll do an inspection on that to make sure that that's all done. That was one barrier that was supposed to be done. The other one is a little bit more difficult because of the way that it's written and how it looks. You already have a bunch of trees, and in order to theoretically do what it says it's supposed to be done, you would probably kill trees in order to plant trees, which doesn't make any sense. So talking to Mr. Campbell, we feel like there's some areas that definitely need to be, addressed. And then if those areas get addressed, I think that, we can close that one as well.
And you're having conversation with the neighbors. You've been.
Correct. Yes. We had Chuck into the office, we sat down, we went over the map, we explained some stuff back and forth. Some ideas, taking a look, what is acceptable, what do we need to do? There are some things that I think that we need to address with the planning board moving forward for any future parks so that we don't end up with these type of issues. Trees die, fences can be rebuilt. So, but that's gonna be a planning board issue for the future.
Questions from the board? Mr. Bass, you have anything?
I guess we gotta meet and sort this out. I guess that's what he's saying, yeah. I'll meet with him.
I've already discussed with him one area and he's already agreed to do that. This other area, as far as planting, I don't suspect that that's gonna be a problem from talking to Fred about that. But again, we'll meet, we'll go over that. And, I can update the board at the next meeting or whenever.
Well, I'll make the motion to, as far as the fines go, end the fines on 9/25, was it?
Mhm.
For the violation, and then today's date for the copy of the rules and lease, which we weren't able to get the lease, so that's fine. We didn't do the lease. That's my motion.
So I'm unclear on what that would do. Are we finding through today because we didn't get the
For not-
rules
for-
until today, or?
For the violations was 9/25. And then we got the rules today, so it'll be in today.
Okay. I'll second that.
I just need to know an amount and what the days are and when the end dates are,
I get it.
so I can add
So,
that to
We
my.
have, we have the start date and the end date.
So is the end date for fines the 25th?
Technically, it would be
10/13
10/13
today.
Okay.
Yes.
What is the dollar amount?
I'd have to do that. It's exactly what you guys had said before, which was,
I was under the impression that it was what he had on the list that I was being fined, not giving you the rules. I could have given you those the next day.
We asked for them. We've been asking for them since day one.
you told us that night.
I
that
understand, but I didn't understand that I was being fined for you not having the rules. That's all I'm saying. I could have given them to him the next day, we don't know now.
You informed us the last meeting that you weren't, you were advised by your attorney not to give us the copy
Correct.
of your rules or your leases.
Correct.
Because, and then we said,
And
we,
I understood what you said.
we're gonna.
I had to
continue-
either bring the rules to the next meeting or bring a letter from my attorney. It was either or.
and
That's
Continue
what
the
I,
fines until we get that.
well, I didn't understand I was getting fined for that. I was under the impression I was getting fined for the original violation
You have
in the
a copy of
park.
it?
That's the only thing
Yeah, it's a $500 day per fine.
would have made no sense to,
My
for me to
son.
hold on to these for all this.
Yeah, request for letter from the landowner's attorney stating that he, the attorney, advised him not to share the rules and or lease agreement with the board and to continue the $500 day per fine with the check, fine with a check-in at the next select board meeting.
For violation.
No, it was $500 per day.
Well, I think there was a misunderstanding and my hearing isn't real good. That's pretty evident that people that know me.
So we need.
It also says if the landowner contacts code enforcement officer Schultz and the park passes inspection, the fine will be lifted. That's reading
Well,
from minutes.
I think we'll check the tape. Cause I believe what happened is after that, there was
Yeah, we amended the
he
motion.
amended the motion.
So my question is, what is the dollar amount?
So we're gonna have to, I'm gonna have to go back from, I'll review the tape to see exactly what it said, and then I can provide you with the dollar figure.
I can tell you what the dollar amount would be for 9/25, but I don't have it calculated for the 13th. So
Well, what is it for 9/25?
until 9/25 would have put it at $8,500 per day. It was at 7,000 when you were at your last meeting, and then there were 2 days that went by since then. So then it would be whatever above and beyond that to get to the 13th.
So that's total. From the-
For the 25th, it would be 8,000 to that point. From that point further, I would have to calculate that out. I don't know.
Well, it's $500 a day. There's 30 days in November. I mean, September.
Additional 9,500, I think.
You see forward progress, Mark?
Yes.
I'll amend my motion. Move it second, so I guess, can I do that?
You can move to withdraw
I
it.
can move to it. I'll make a motion with, I move to withdraw my motion.
I don't know what the rules. Can I second to that?
You can second his emotion, his
Yeah.
motion.
Because it's a different motion. I'm gonna, I move to withdraw my motion.
Second.
All in favor of the motion, withdraw? Against? We're gonna withdraw. Sorry.
That's fine.
I will, I'll make the motion that we stop all fines on 9/25. Due to some communication errors and misunderstandings. My new motion. which the price, we would be 8,000.
Mhm.
One second.
Can I speak?
We're in the middle of a motion here.
So. I think you made the motion at the last meeting, you would, well. go ahead. You guys gotta figure it out.
Can I speak? I'm under real misunderstanding that the last meeting, you said going forward, I would be fined $500 a day if I didn't get things done. Now you're going way back. You've made so many motions on the fines. I've been totally confused on this. And the code guy here told me that, Fred, you ought to get at this because every day you're getting fined $500. And that's where I got the $500 figure. He was being clear with me about what the last motion was made by Mrs. Stevens. That's all I'm saying. There's been a lot of motions here, but hasn't been really clear to me anyways, how much I'm being fined. That's,
Well, at the last meeting, we did discuss the 7,000. We were at 7,000 when we met the last time. And then 2 days had passed to get to the inspection point. So that was $500 each. That makes the 1,000, which gets us to the 8.
8,000.
That was clear at the last meeting,
Oh, I
$7,000.
made a motion. And all fines 925. No one wants to second it?
Well,
Do you want to second it for the points of discussion?
I'll second it for discussion, yes.
The discussion.
The point of the fines is to get compliance, and we've achieved compliance. Now, I've been to other select board meetings in which, not necessarily as a select board, where fines were waived when compliance was achieved. Now, you can impose punitive fines. But if compliance is achieved, the sole purpose after compliance is achieved is punitive. Just wanted to make sure people understood.
The purpose of my amended motion at the last meeting around getting a letter from the lawyer or getting the rules was, I wanted that data, or I wanted a clear explanation of why we weren't getting the data. Who is the lawyer? Is the lawyer real? And we just weren't getting those answers. And the intent with that was to have those fines continue until all those things were fulfilled. And that's why I'm standing firm on where I'm at. Is this something that we would or could table until the full select board is present?
Yes, you
We
could
could.
table it.
And I'm not suggesting that carry forward for additional fines beyond today. But I'd be interested in having our other two members here so we could discuss whether they'd really wanted to stop at 925 or if they understood what I'm describing. Where we were also waiting either for the rules or from a letter from the attorney.
So with that. Any more discussion? We're still gonna vote on this motion.
Well, just one thing. This has taken up a tremendous amount of the board's time, Mark's time, Derek Booker's time. I'm not in favor of 0 fine. But I think 8,000 might be sending the wrong message.
Could you be clear on what the wrong message is?
It's punitive and not to enforce compliance.
Well, that's what the board wanted, to have the fine for that reason.
No, we wanted, my understanding is we wanted compliance at that trailer park.
Right.
That's what I understood it to be. And we've done it. That goal has been achieved.
And as of 925, what my motion was. But up until that point, there's still some fines that are due. Of $8,000. The other message we send is people, if another case come up similar or a situation similar and we impose fines. They're gonna come, no one's gonna comply. They say, yeah, we'll just get compliant. They're gonna take our fine away from you. You see what I'm saying?
I'm not advocating for zero. But Fred has made a good effort here, under the threat of penalties, but he's made a good effort here.
So you can vote for the $8,000 to 1025. I'm sorry, to
920.
925. You can vote that motion. Or you can withdraw that motion and then vote to table it till the full board is here.
Well, I guess what I'll do is we'll vote on that motion. All in favor of ending fines on 925?
In the amount of $8,000.
$8,000. Opposed? That motion fails.
So my motion would be to table this till we have the full select board present, so we can discuss this.
Second.
The only discussion I'm gonna have is, are we gonna keep going, chasing this rabbit down the hole? Is it gonna keep happening?
As long as there are no further violations, there would be no reason to have additional, fines. I just want to have input from the other two folks that have had an awful lot to say about issues up to now.
No. We're in a discussion here amongst the select board.
It doesn't make sense.
All in favor of table until the next meeting? Vote. The table the next meeting.
I didn't even hear what you
We're gonna clear this up at the next meeting when the full board is here.
Okay, but can I say something? I would generously give you $1,000 to just end this, because I was under the impression 2 days is what I had. Maybe it was a misunderstanding, but I came here prepared to pay $1,000. And obviously, there's a difference between 1,000 and 7,000 or 8,000.
Oh, absolutely.
Obviously. What would happen to this money? Where would it go?
General fund.
Goes
Unallocated.
Unallocated fund balance.
I would ask that you consider helping some of the people in the trailer park with this money, whatever, and people need help. Some people need help. Anyways, thank you.
So before we Chuck had his hand up, go ahead, Chuck.
The only thing that I want
Can you
to
come
say.
up?
Sorry,
Now you haven't had a chance to talk today.
Chuck Campbell, I'm a neighbor. I understand that he has done a good job trying to clean up some of the mess, but we still have some of the buffer issues that, are we gonna put a time frame on him? I mean, we've been dealing with this for 20 years now. Is it just gonna be the same old, well, I'll do it when I get to it, or, just ignore it and hope it'll go away, or,
That's when I had that, when I was talking with Mark about that. Mark's gonna have some conversations and meetings with Mr. Best. He's gonna update us on where we're going with this.
I understand that that's happening, but it's just my concern, is there gonna be a time frame on that, or it's just gonna be more of,
I guess it could be
Status
based
quo.
on, I guess it could be based on the next discussion that Mark and Mr. Best have about this. We don't know the details on the trees. You're talking about trees and
I think Mark would bring it back to the select board if it wasn't done in a timely way.
define timelines.
I would say 30 days.
One thing I want to bring up to the board is, I got a contact email from my broker on the sale of my park. And it looks like possibly Friday, I'm gonna have a contract to sell the park. So some of the people behind me might be happy dealing with new people. I'll be happy to go down the road and be gone from this. But I'm just telling you, this is coming. So
Well, make sure you explain to them some of the issues.
I will, sure. But I'm just trying to keep you informed in the whole thing, because if I'm out of the picture here, anything that I agree to, I guess they'll be, have to do that too, and that'll be part of the deal.
Well, yeah, you get an offer this Friday, you think, you hope.
That's what I got in an email today, but it isn't a contract
Yeah,
yet,
so
so
it's
I'm
gonna-
just telling you though. It's been working through the process here.
But the next meeting, I'm sure it's not gonna happen before the next meeting on
It might happen this Saturday, Friday or Saturday, I'll have a
the
contract.
sale,
Pardon?
sale,
It'll be
No.
contract.
oh, the contract.
The contract. But I plan and hope to close by the end of the year. So we're talking less than 2.5 months. So I'll be willing to do anything you ask, plant stuff, do stuff. I've been planting trees. So all I can say is I've been trying, and we held over 30 yards of stuff away. We cleaned up everything he asked and found more and cleaned that up. That's all I can say. My hearing is bad. The first two people, I still don't know what they were talking about, and I'm sitting this close. It's just hard for me. Thank you.
$11.2. Budget request letter.
We done?
Oh, this has to do with the letter going out to both agencies.
It is the scale of approval. I had people asking for this already.
The board members should have a copy of this letter that's gonna go out to folks that are organizations looking for budget requests for next year's budget. We're already talking about next year's budget.
We're talking, it's time. It's almost the most wonderful time of the year.
My part starts now.
Is this essentially the same letter that was sent last year?
Kind of, sort of.
Kind of, sort of.
Yeah.
All right,
Tell us what your
I'll
changes were.
reread it. I'll read
Tell
the
us
new
what
one
your
then.
changes were.
It was a couple of changes for your guys' request, and I don't have the letter in front of me, so.
Okay.
And I went over it, and
The new budget requests. That was a change.
yes, because remember, we moved some agencies to a different.
Right.
And are we requiring them to get a petition when it wasn't their request to
No.
be removed?
No, that's why you put new. That's why we put new on.
Correct.
Right.
I'll make it a motion to approve this letter.
I'll second that.
Any discussion, Mike? Anything else? All in favor? Use it. Okay. Agendas for the next meeting. We're gonna get a sign update, right?
We're going to have a discussion about transfer station.
Okay.
Mike from Waste Hub.
Wait,
from
that's
down,
coming down.
Talk about transportation.
Okay. We'll be talking about Lady Slipper Lane.
Yes.
Full board,
Full board.
so waste will renew.
Did you want any department head to come and do, you got some more monthly reports? I should have a police report for you tomorrow. Did you want any department heads to come in or a committee to come in at the next meeting and have a chat?
How about the rec department?
You want the rec department?
Yeah.
Like for a recap of the summer?
Yeah.
Okay. I think he's been here a couple of times, so this, but it'll be nice to hear the whole.
Yeah, the summer,
Summer.
the fall, and they're getting ready for the winter stuff.
Okay.
Involvement with the community part.
Mhm.
Just unless anyone has, anyone else they wanna.
No, I think that sounds great.
They just had their senior trip
Oh, good.
to North Conway, I think it was.
I don't know if this would be new business for next is how about an update on the paving?
Oh,
Unless you want updated now.
I can update you right now.
Cause we're into the year and we're gonna,
We're close. We have been assured that will be within the next 2 weeks.
Mill Street,
Mill Street, Orf's Corner, Elm,
Elm,
Orf's Corner, Elm. I think that was
that was it.
So there's been a little change in the paving
vendor-
company.
the Vendor.
So, but they have assured us, I got an email today that said
We
they
don't
will
want, we don't
fulfill their
want
contract.
paving in the snow.
We're not gonna pave in the snow. That won't be allowed.
Anything else for next meeting? Motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Remember to tell me.
Right.
Marcus about coming to.
Yeah.
Just in case I forget.
We've got signatures, mine.
Oh, yeah.
You have to send it off.
You wanna see these rules?
Moving off.